And good morning and welcome back to the QB Huddle podcast. It's Tuesday, January 6th. Happy New Year once again. This is our first Tuesday back after the holiday season and the year has turned to 2026. I am joined, of course, I am Tim, joined by Lauren and Brandon Newey. We have the full crew here today because it's playoffs and we don't want to miss out on anything.
Playoffs?
How the heck are the two of you?
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
There it is. There it is. What say you, Brandon Newey? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good, man. I had an opportunity to go up to Oklahoma, visit my family. It was my grandpa's 94th birthday, so got to visit him and Grams and Granny and had a good time, man. Got to see a lot of my people back home, and always feels good to be back and stop by the bar, good old numbers, and got to see my boys. So it's been a while.
All right. Well, I know your weekend was filled with some practice and work, but other than that, how was your weekend?
Yeah, weekend was good, man. I got to spend some time with the kids. I watched football, watched the games. Yeah, it's pretty good. Went out to eat. It was a good weekend. Smooth.
There's that patented high level of energy that we get from Lowe on a Tuesday morning. So we got to rev
Y'all
him
told
up
me to tone it down because I was a little Patriot too happy, but I can't debate the facts here. Okay, guys. So we'll do that later. This show is for that later.
Okay. Yeah. We see the full-on Patriot background. So that's good. Lauren Morales is the QB Huddle Patriot Insider. That's fine because Brandon Newey is the San Francisco 49er QB Huddle Insider, and I take care of the other 30 teams. So I think we're good. All right. No, in all seriousness, this is playoffs. So we're going to give out some year-end awards today. We each have a QB on fire of the year, QB in the garbage juice of the year, and we had a Brady moment, right? We're not going to give out the Brady moment of the year until the end of the year because the playoffs are coming, right? And we got to see what happens. That's when it really matters. So we'll talk about that later. But we had a Brady moment this week from kind of an unsuspected rookie. So it was nice to see that. And to end the season on a good note for that individual. So we'll do that. Let's get into hot topics, folks, because we got some stuff to talk about. Brandon, this is going to really start with you. The San Francisco 49ers lost to Seattle, blowing the opportunity to get the number 1 seed. All the pundits say it's a matchup issue, and San Francisco simply can't match up with Seattle. They've moved all the way down to the 6th seed, and now you have to go to Philadelphia, the friendly confines of the Vet Stadium. What say you about your 49ers missing a golden opportunity, pun intended?
Golden opportunity miss, man. But hey, like I said, this entire season, we're just surviving just by duct tape, man. We only had 3 third downs in the first half. Dang, why'd you do my boy like that? You put him on the screen.
Man down.
Get up, Purdy, get up. Nah, man, it's just that team is good. And if you don't remember, the head coach was a DC for the Baltimore Ravens. And this was Christmas night when Brock Purdy had to play that team, and he threw a game high of 5 interceptions. So they disguise very well. They just shift out. They don't follow the motions. 49ers, especially in Kyle Shanahan's offense, we need to get a little bit more creative in the passing game. We just couldn't run the ball at all either. I thought the defense played okay. I mean, this game really could have got out in hand. It felt like a 30-point blowout, but we managed to only keep 13 on the board, right? So now we got to go coast to coast. It doesn't look good, but hey, I mean, it's the playoffs now. We're here. Just got to focus. Philly's next. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think you guys are fine because I've seen you play Philly before. I think if Brock doesn't get hurt in the first quarter a couple years ago, they beat Philly. They did beat Philly the next year with a healthy Brock Purdy. I think that Seattle defense man, I was impressed. That was the
good,
most
man.
I've watched
They're
Seattle like a full game. And because I went and rewatched the game. I wasn't home Saturday night, but what a game by that Seattle defense. And what came into question to me was, how are you going to stop the run game? The Bears didn't really challenge you. I don't know why they didn't really try to run the ball, but you did not stop the run very well. Because I mean, Darnold didn't do much, right? He protected the football, but he didn't really do anything. He kind of drove that bus. Lauren, you said we agreed that the 49ers were on a tear, and this loss would cool down their temperature just a little bit. I'm actually not nervous about them going into Philly, but how do you feel after watching them play Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, I would worry because of the team that you're playing. So if it was a different team traveling, no problem. But because it's Philly, they're the same type of team as Seattle. They're going to run the ball, right, in the playoffs. They're going to lock in. Their defense is good. I mean, yeah, you get another crack at it, but I'm sorry, man.
I don't know.
Is not going to cut it. 53 rushing yards is not going to cut it. 9 first downs in the game, not going to cut it. Seattle had 23. They ran the ball well. They played their game. When people say it's a bad matchup, I understand where they're coming from, but it's not just a bad matchup. It's a style of football, Philly plays the same style. A lot of the NFC teams play this style, right? Run the ball, play defense. They're really good at it. This isn't the AFC where it's rush dash, put up a lot of points.
Run game.
Like, no, way more physical. And the 49ers are definitely the pretty boy of the NFC, if you will. And
we're depleted, man.
Have to figure it out.
We're just surviving. Now, if we go out there and have
10 touchdowns though in 2 weeks, to not put up one is pretty disappointing. It's pretty disappointing.
You know what? And again, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with you cooling off a little bit. It's a divisional game. Those games are always going to hit different than a game with the Chicago Bears or, fill in the blank. Pardon me. I'm okay with that. And I look at the quarterback matchup and I look who's more consistent offensively this year. And it's been Brock Purdy. Who's been the better quarterback, throwing the ball on third downs and things like that? It's been Brock Purdy. So what they didn't do against Seattle, which was stay on the field on third down, which they did a very good job against Chicago, I expect that they will do a good job with a non-divisional opponent in Philadelphia. So we'll get into
They were missing Trent. They were missing Trent as well. Pearsall.
That does hurt.
I get it.
That is
I get it.
Pearsall,
I get it.
Our linebacker, our middle backer just got injured. Now we're having to call up a guy. I mean, we've literally lost all of our linebackers this year, every single one.
This just adds to why I think, they should be a little worried because the energy of being at home would have helped. That would have helped.
Yeah.
But will it? I don't know. Yeah,
we'll see, man. I like our chances.
They're going to travel. The Niners are going to battle. They're going to battle.
They are going to battle.
They're at home. It's a good matchup. I want to see it.
The Chargers out in LA did an interesting thing this weekend. They're not the only team that did it as far as willing to drop, because the Eagles did the exact same thing. But the Chargers willingly dropped into the 5 seed by sitting Herbert and a host of other players, including Mario Hampton, because he's been a little banged up. They wanted him for the playoff run. Good move or bad move? Lauren, I'll come to you first. How did you feel about that? Was that a good move or a bad move for Harbaugh and company to move down a seed?
This is the bias in me. I'm going to say bad move, obviously, because I thought that you should have tried to beat the Broncos for the Patriots' sake. But no, I understand it. So I'll step back and also say I get the move. I understand where they're coming from. You need to be healthy. Herbert's already banged up. Doesn't matter who they were playing. They were traveling. And they're going to have to now they got to come to Gillette. It's luck of the draw. Right. So, yeah, I'm not upset at it. I'm only upset because of the bias we talked about. As for mentioned.
I got you. Brandon, where are you with this? If you're a Charger fan, are you upset, or do you think this is a great move for them?
It doesn't really matter. They're about to get their teeth kicked in.
Oh, my goodness.
They got to go from coast to coast. I mean, the damage has already been done. I mean, your entire O-line's depleted. Herbert hurt, with a banged-up hand. You just got your running back. I mean, they're surviving on duct tape and bubble gum, man. They're just trying. And so they're about to run into a buzzsaw. So,
well, and we'll
no matter which way you looked.
Pardon me. We will get into all our predictions in a little while, but you're right, Brandon. They are a mess out there. I think it was a good move. I didn't like it when I first heard about it, but then I sit back and think, okay, Herbert's not healthy. You need him as healthy as possible because he's the the kind of the gas to that engine. So I don't think it's a big deal for them necessarily, because either way they're on the road. Philly, on the other hand, to do what they did and sit Jalen and sit a bunch of guys and not try to get to that 2 seed. Then you see Chicago lose. I mean, that 2 seed is much more important than the 3 seed to me, because you're guaranteed 2 home games should you win the first game. Where now Philly will be on the road if they beat San Francisco. So to me, that was a bad move by Philly. Do you both agree, or do you feel the same way, like it was good for them to sit Jalen Hurts and company? Brandon.
Hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's
Okay.
2020. That's all I got to say.
Did they just assume the Bears were going to beat the Lions? I mean, the Lions didn't go the lay down in Chicago by any means. So
I think Philly should have stayed home for sure. Taking that loss going into the playoffs, I mean, it doesn't matter how you look at it. It still burns. It doesn't matter who was playing. Now you've got to find a way to overcome that stigma. Like, man, we just lost. How do we win again? And so now we're going up against a tougher team. It didn't matter. It just helps us stay at the crib for the number 2 seed. That would be my play.
I got you. See, I would have played to try to get to that 2 seed as well. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Let's talk just a little bit about MVP. We've kind of discussed this ad nauseum, but now that the season is over and played out, let's give our thoughts. Obviously, it's a quarterback award. Lauren, I think we know where you're going, so we'll come to you here in a second. But Brandon, go to you first. As the season wound up, who's your MVP and why?
It's Matt Stafford. I mean, he has played very consistent this year. He's got his team despite some receiver injuries, some O-line injuries. I mean, he is playing at a very high level. He's seeing it better than he ever has, in my opinion. I mean, it just looks easy. If he's protected, he's going to make it work. He's still one of the best throwers in the game, if not in NFL history. There's only a handful of them, and he's in there. So right now I think he has over 10 more touchdowns than the candidate that I know my buddy is about to name. But that guy has also been a stud too, and he's on his way. So I think you give the old man his flowers here. I mean, 46-8 is impressive.
Man, I agree with you. And I think if Matthew Stafford didn't have the year that he has, Drake May is certainly number 1 on my list right now. But I would say this is the only reason I think we give it to Matthew Stafford is because, yes, his team is certainly lower in the seed, did not have as good of a season as the Patriots. But how many more years are we going to get to enjoy Matthew Stafford having 40-plus touchdowns in a season? I don't think very often. Drake May, on the other hand, has many, many, many years ahead of him. And so we've seen this act before. And so it'd be hard for me to think that the writers aren't going to award it to Matthew Stafford. And I think he deserves it. Low? Go ahead. Oh, Low.
Ouch.
Oh,
sorry. Am I back? Oh, my gosh. All right, y'all. Look, first, I want to get it out of the way and say, I will not be upset, as of you, like you guys as well, if Matthew Stafford wins an MVP at the end of it. Like, absolutely not. The fairy tale's written. Everything's good. With that being said, I don't like the rest of the fans out there, maybe not us who really know football and are seeing the big picture here, and he's going to get the farewell flowers. And I'm not going to bag on it's a participation, because that's what it kind of feels like, right? But no, he's put up elite numbers. His numbers back it up. But I'm going to give you some blemishes, okay? You got to count the rushing yards, right? So that's in there too. So for devil's advocate, let me give you the argument of why Drake May should be your MVP. You add in the rushing yards, it's a closer battle, right? He has almost 450, so total yards, they're very close. Right. The touchdowns, interceptions, the common schedule or the easy schedule, but against common opponents, man, Drake May's 6-0. Right. Matt Stafford's 4-2. So I don't want to hear anything about the schedule. That negates the schedule. They're playing against NFL teams. But man, Drake May has an argument that is above no other. The best stat that I saw, and I know we can sit here and go ad nauseum, since 2013, every single MVP has been the number 1 or number 2 seed. Every year, and we're about to give an MVP to to the 5th seed. Why? I don't understand. Drake May has done something that in year 2.
We told you why.
It's the writers, though. Like, I can't sit here and be like, we're just all going to accept that. If this was a fan-based award, I still think Stafford might win it.
He deserves
because
it.
the average person watching football is probably 35 to 60. You know, see, he deserves it. May's just as much deserving and has the stats to back it up.
All right, then.
I mean, I get it, but when you throw for over
That's all I'll
40
say
touchdowns and you're single digits in interceptions, that is
But
insane.
hear me out. Okay, I didn't want to go there.
That's
13
insane.
of his touchdowns were 1 yard.
Oh, to
Stafford
Devontae
has thrown
Adams.
1 yard touchdowns. 13 of them.
Oh,
13
You know how
of
hard
them.
that 1 yard
Who
throw
cares?
is.
Who
You know how
cares?
hard
To
that 1 yard
right
throw
though.
is.
But when you have a Puka Nacua and a Devontae Adams and a Kyron Williams and a Michigan guy running the ball back there too.
I mean,
I
outside
don't
of
know.
his stinker,
It's
dude,
pretty
he's
easy.
been on a heater.
Outside of his stinker, there's not
And
many stinkers. Drake May never had multi-interception games. Stafford had, I think, 2. It's just, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just have these battles. When it comes down to it, to me, May did have a better statistical season, performing all the way like in common games with not an elevated supporting cast. But yes, I get it. Stafford has had the best downfield passing season and that we can remember. But I'm saying there's a valid argument there. I just want people to acknowledge that. So
I'd like to be
anyway,
I'd like to be
stuff.
clear as we talk about this MVP. At least my personal feeling is until it becomes not a quarterback award, I really don't care about it. Like it's become a thing where it's the most popular quarterback on the best team. Oftentimes, as you said, Lauren, it's usually to the 1 or 2 seed team. This year, it happens that we're talking about a guy that threw 46 touchdowns at the ripe age of, what is he, 39? I think it's terrific. I think what he's done is remarkable. And I think Drake May is going to have better seasons than he had this year, even. So he'll get his MVP one day. I don't put a lot of credence into the MVP. Personally,
hey, I won't be upset if it goes May's way at all.
I'm sure you won't.
There will be other people that will be upset.
We've had some coaches move. We've had some coaches move, not move, get fired. All right, let's talk about it. Let's kind of go around the table on this. Let's start with Raheem Morris. People are up in arms that Morris had been fired in Atlanta. Here's the bottom line. In 3 years, he didn't have a winning season. In 3 years with Tampa Bay as their head coach, he had 1 winning season, right? He's a great coordinator, right? Seems to be a great position coach, but everyone's not meant to be a head coach. Now I'm seeing, there's a lot of outcry that he didn't get opportunities and fired quick. Well, guess what? The whole front office has been fired in Atlanta. Right? Arthur Blank is going for a whole new setup. And when you go 3 years and can't get more than 8 wins in a season, maybe it's time to make a change. So I'll go around the table. Where are we with the Raheem Morris firing and really the whole front office gone in Atlanta? Lo, I'll start with you.
Yeah, you touched on it, man. I'm with you. It's top down. So he was just a product of this thing. Do I think he deserved to be fired? No, but I can make an argument for any coach in there. I think it was his time. They didn't know what they were doing, man. With Kirk Cousins ending the season the way he did, clearly shows he probably should have started earlier in the season because that's what you paid him for. You drafting Penix seemed like a bad idea then. We talked about that when it happened. It was overdue. This wasn't about a win-loss record. This was about starting fresh, cleaning house, and they're doing it from the top down.
All right, good. Brandon, seems like we are synonymous on this. Where do you sit? Oh, we can't hear you, sir.
Let me turn my mic on. There we
go. You're back.
Yeah, so I think Coach Morris, man, I think the move to get Penix kind of screwed up everything because Penix had to hit. And if he didn't hit, it was over by the way he got injured, right? So it's just a product of that whole thing. I think Kirk Cousins coming back and showcasing that, hey, I can still play in the league. Maybe it sent a message to Arthur Blank like, what were we doing? Right? I trusted you guys. This is how it's ended back-to-back A1 seasons. Now, granted, you did tie with the top 2 divisions, top 2 teams, but man, you got to get it done, man. And in this league, you're 3 years, and if it ain't working, they're probably going to move on. It's just kind of how it is. So
Fair
none of
enough.
these coaches to me, I'm just like, hey, new changes, new faces.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong
the
with
thing
it.
about when you
Produce.
get fired as a head coach in the NFL, your career is typically not over unless maybe you're this guy. Let's talk about him, Pete Carroll. I hate to see him go. I think he was brought in for one reason and one reason only, and that was Geno Smith. Geno Smith literally shit the bed all season long, and the Raiders are moving in an entirely new direction. Hate it for Pete. Loved seeing him back in the game, but understand the move. Brandon, how do you feel about Pete Carroll exiting the
Man,
building in Las
it was
Vegas?
unfortunate, man. Just wasn't sure. They're probably looking at it at like, hey, man, the game has passed you by, and to me, that's it's unfortunate to see Pete. He's a energetic, almost 80-year-old man that feels like he can still coach.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's alarming to me: the Raiders could be spending $50 million on fired coaches alone.
Wow.
Right? They owe Antonio Pierce $8 million. They owe Josh
Mm-mm.
McDaniels $10 million, John Gruden
Oh, my
$10
goodness.
million, Pete Carroll $16 million, and Chip Kelly $6 million. Come on now.
Somebody's going
So
broke in Las
Tom
Vegas.
Brady is apparently driving this whole thing. As far as like, I'm going to take over, we're going to try to figure out the next head coach, what direction we're going in. So that should be interesting because, as you can tell, Brady is a minority owner. He hates losing. And so
Hates
right now
losing.
it looks like a shit show in Vegas. The fans deserve more. Those are some diehard, loyal fans. And this is coming from a Niner fan. And their teams continue to come up short year in and year out since the early 2000s, right? I think the last time they were good, honestly, was when Rich Gannon was quarterback. Am I
Back in the
right?
Gruden days. Back in
Golly.
the Gruden days.
Golly. I mean, they
Bring
got to
John
figure out
back to
something.
Las Vegas. Let's go. Bring
Come
John
on,
Gruden
Vegas.
back.
You got a
Woo!
beautiful, beautiful stadium. Great fans. It's loud. Right? Come on. Figure it
Lo,
out.
how do you feel about old Pete Carroll getting his walking papers from Vegas yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, geez, you signed him to a 3-year deal. I thought he would have a more time, but I think Geno Smith cost Pete Carroll his job, if you ask me. If you bring over a bridge quarterback that you're paying good money to, you're hoping that all he is that solid bridge to get you where you want to be in the fulfilling the 3-year contract. So I can't. It's ugly. You cut the cord early. You got Janty, but I get it. That was subpar performance of what they even expected. I don't even think they had playoff hopes given the Chargers, that division.
Yeah.
But it's got to look better than what it was. Like, it's got to look better.
100%
So yeah,
agree.
top down, and they got the number 1 pick. So you're not going to ruin your chances of starting fresh right now.
Fair enough. I agree with you on everything that you just said. For some reason, we've lost our graphics. I'm not sure if Brandon Franklin had to drop away for some reason. So we do have more graphics to show, but Kevin Stefanski was up there. This might be a little bit of a controversial conversation. I'm going to go last because I know that what I'm going to say is going to cause a stir. Lauren, I'll go to you first. Kevin Stefanski is out in Cleveland. Your thoughts?
Told you so. Someone had to go. I'm just curious that I don't think this was a Shador thing. I think the timing was just offered an opportunity. Shador, that's where this is going, right? So Shador offered the opportunity because now you have 2 quarterbacks that you can start fresh with, a vet that's still there who they've got to figure out what the hell they're doing with Deshaun Watson. And it was Stefanski's time to go. He will get a job somewhere. He was a 2-time coach of the year?
2-time.
At least 2-time. Yeah. So he'll go. He'll get somewhere. But this was a culture change. You didn't really get better. It was always the same. And now there's more problems in Cleveland that he really can't handle. They need to. Cleveland needs to go and get them a players coach, man's man, as you would say, someone, and then hire some good DCs around them. But they need a Dan Campbell. They need a Vrabel. They need someone who's coming in there like that.
All right. Okay. How about a Deion Sanders? Are you for the Deion Sanders movement?
Not in Cleveland. Even if his son was there, like I want it elsewhere. I will take Vegas. That looks nice. Atlanta looks really great. They love him in Atlanta. But let's just see how that. Who knows? I don't know if Deion coaches in the NFL though. I doubt it.
All right, Brandon, we'll go to you. Kevin Stefanski's out in Cleveland.
About damn time.
Oh my goodness, I can't. I'm
about time. It's about time, and I feel like it really played in again. These big, powerful quarterback moves, like you attested earlier pre-show. Kevin didn't want Watson, so that the front office was already a rocky start there. I mean, he was 2-time coach of the year. He can coach, guys. Like let's not say he can't, but I just think things were out of his control, and he probably just said, "Screw it." Right. That's just one of those things when those coaches don't have that control, and somebody else is picking the groceries instead of them. I mean, clearly he wanted his guy Gabriel, but it wasn't performing the way he wanted to. Shador came in just to give a spark, but also, he showed, hey, he's still a rookie. It's not gonna turn around overnight. But I think going out the way he did, sweeping Pittsburgh, who's now divisional champs, I think he can hold his head high and go find another job. We all know he can coach, but this wasn't the right fit for him. And I am not in favor of Deion coaching Shador in Cleveland.
Totally. All right. That's 2 for 2. My turn. Here's where I am with Kevin Stefanski. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, I am running out of that building. And this is why. Has nothing to do with Shador Sanders. Absolutely nothing to do with that. Has to do with the management of the team from the top down. The fact that they, to me, gambled the future of the organization with the way they made the trade for Deshaun and then paid him the highest money ever by $100 million probably.
Mm-hmm.
Changed the quarterback market. And then Deshaun Watson wasn't the same Deshaun Watson when he came back. He wasn't healthy. He couldn't stay on the field. We're talking about a 2-time coach of the year in Kevin Stefanski that's put up with nothing but BS since he's been in Cleveland. And this year was just kind of the peak of it, right? We're going to give you 2 rookie quarterbacks in one draft class. One guy's going to be the 3rd, one guy's going to be the 5th. Everybody in the world wanted the 5th guy to be the 3rd guy, 2nd, or even 1st guy. So now we're really going to screw you because we're going to make you play the 3rd string quarterback. And everyone in the world is going to assume that you, sir, hate Shador Sanders. And you are going to get drugged through every outlet possible by every media head possible. And when Shador does play and the Browns don't win, it's going to be because you hate Shador Sanders and want him to fail. And to me, the media made that, and the social media people made that such a thing. And inside the building, we don't know what that relationship is, but there's nothing pointing to the fact that they don't get along, that they don't have a mutual respect for each other. Because Kevin Stefanski, to me, tried to protect Shador as best he could. And then when he put him on the field, I feel like he let him spread his wings, right? They called different plays for him than they did for Dylan Gabriel. They understand he's a different type of player than Dylan Gabriel. I think Kevin Stefanski is good to get out of there, and whoever goes there is set up for the same headaches in Cleveland. You got to change something up top. Lauren, you disagree with me?
I disagree with you about halfway through there. The moment you started making excuses for Kevin Stefanski's coaching, right? This has nothing to do with the Shador. You're right. Let's just take QB 5, as you called him, and QB 3. These are bad decisions he made. One player was better clearly than the other. It's not.
It wasn't his decision to make.
It's not. He was forced. It is. You're the coach. You're the head coach.
No, the owner is not going to allow you to play the 5th round pick over the 3rd round pick in year 1.
Yes.
He's not going to allow for that. There's too much money at stake. I think you're missing that.
There's not too much money at stake. A 5th round is cheap.
To draft 2 quarterbacks
the 3rd round,
in one draft class.
So you're telling me in the same sentence that the owner is conscious of money while signing Deshaun Watson to the worst contract we've ever seen?
I'm saying the owner is a damn idiot based on every move that we've seen around quarterbacks in Cleveland.
Stefanski was around idiots long enough to where he became one a little bit this season because he made some very questionable decisions that were mark my words. When Cleveland does better with whoever comes in there in the same group, a bunch of people, what are you going to do then? Eat them? You're going to eat your words?
Okay, here's what's going to happen.
Stefanski looks like what?
Or paint your nails?
Listen, painted.
Ooh.
Listen,
Oh!
we're gonna get to that in a second. Here's what I'm gonna tell you though. Wherever Kevin Stefanski goes, his first year in Cleveland, he won 11-5. All right, wherever he goes, he's gonna have success. I'm sorry, you don't You don't.
He will go. I'll give you that. He will be a coach somewhere. Head coach.
You're not a 2-time coach of the year in the NFL and can't coach football. I'm sorry. You didn't.
I agreed with everything that you were saying, except instead of making excuses for Stefanski, this was both of their problems. And with Shador being the rookie and him being a 2-time coach of the year, he should have figured that out. He should have figured that out a lot earlier and better, and he didn't. And maybe he wanted out. But you're right. The pressure and volume that came with Shador was too much for Stefanski, and I would want out too. I agree with you there.
It was just too much, too loud. Last guy, Jonathan Gannon, was let go from Arizona. He was there for 3 years, never posted more than 8 wins. It seems like Kyler Murray had respect for him based on how things have played out with tweets and such after, but they never really were able to get going. There was controversy. There's been controversy about Kyler the entire time he's been there, damn near, and then he's been hurt and in and out. Do we feel like Jonathan, young coach, is he going to go somewhere and have success, or maybe should he go back into the coordinator role? Lauren, I'll start with you.
Yeah, we're seeing this a lot. I won't go too deep into it. I think we all saw this one coming. He needs to go back into a coordinator role, as do a lot of these other coaches. Not necessarily the ones we're talking about right here. We're talking about other coaches that still have a job too. So, take the Saleh route. He ran right back to it. All these Shanahan guys, it's funny. A lot of them always run back to where they came, So it's tough, man. Head coach is not made for everybody.
Facts. Go ahead, Brandon. Where are we at with old Jonathan Gannon?
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of expected the way Lowe said. I think it's always a turnover kind of thing with the Cardinals, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. You guys have got to get somebody in there that can build a culture and get him at least for the next 5 to 6 years. You've never had a culture. The best culture you had was with Bruce Arians, and you got to find a way to get that back, because if you don't get that back, I don't think you ever will. I mean, you've always been the laughing stock of the NFL for decades until BA came in and changed some things. So you got to find a culture changer. That's the biggest piece. And either you ride with Kyler Murray or ship him off and get picks. You got to start fresh somehow, some way. But if you're going to move with Kyler, then you got to be all in with the kid. So
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. It segues right into the next conversation. Now, this is a QB Huddle podcast, so we have to talk about quarterbacks, and 2 quarterbacks that have been talked about could be on the move. 2 high-profile guys. One of them is Kyler Murray. The other is Lamar Jackson. So let's stick with Kyler. Well, there's been a lot of talk about him going on the move. Now, I have a take about that after watching the game this past weekend. But Lo, I'll go to you when we talk about Kyler Murray. Do you see him as being on the move? And if so, what do you think is a good landing spot for old Kyler?
I think Kyler Murray is on the way out and has been. He's packing up his playbook, whether it be virtual or video games or whatever he does, and he's heading out. So his agent's probably been looking. Miami could be a destination. There's quarterbacks that want to go. There's teams that want to vet quarterback that, I think they go with him. Lamar's staying. Lamar is not leaving Baltimore.
Okay.
I don't. I don't see that. I don't see that. Not yet, at least. They might take the coaching route. There might be a coach out in Baltimore, in my opinion. So I don't know, man. Kyler's on the move. Lamar is staying. That's my take.
All right, Brandon. Is Kyler the question? I know you're off for a second. I know that you have to leave us here in about 25 minutes, so we'll try to get through as much as we can before you go. But Kyler Murray, is he on the move? And if so, what's a good landing spot for Kyler Murray in your opinion?
Oh, buddy's 0 for 2 with head coaches, huh? Cliff Kingsbury got out the door, and then now you force this guy out the door. Is it them or is it you? And I don't know if his love for football is really there. I'm not sure. We know he was an exciting competitor in his high school and collegiate days, but we haven't seen that spark since his second year. And so I'm just trying to see, does he feel like he made the wrong move? And I mean, I'm turning a different corner here because the kid's still young. He's not old, right? What is he, 26?
He's a young guy.
Does he have an opportunity to go play for the A's? Does he go play baseball?
Wow. Okay.
Too far removed.
I don't
too
think
far
he is.
removed.
I think he's too
He's
far
not
removed.
far
Hitting a
removed,
baseball
right?
is difficult, man.
He's had one ACL injury. He could potentially get out clean. He can get on that team as far as AAA, AA ball. Figure out if this is his passion. He's already been paid a big contract. We're not sure how it goes. I mean, the best landing spot
It's
for
just
him
not
is
as big as that football. It's just not as big to maintain the lifestyle, that he had a max contract in football. That baseball money
right, and
is
so
arbitration is different.
Is he going to get the second max deal? I don't think he is.
No.
I think
even right now, the market could be a Purdy deal.
I look at Kyler Murray. He's definitely out of Arizona, in my opinion.
I don't know if
Definitely
he loves the game anymore, man.
I think a good spot for him. Maybe a good spot. There's going to be a lot of distractions here, but we talked about the Raiders. I like him as a veteran to go to the Raiders and allow the Raiders to either draft a young guy or trade for a young guy, whatever they got to do to get a young guy in there as they start to rebuild, but get you a veteran that can help you win some games. And I don't think Kyler Murray is a guy that can't win you some games, right? As long as he's bought in and healthy. So you get a coach that matches with a Kyler Murray and you send him to the Raiders. I would love to see him in Las Vegas.
So what you're saying is
he's not a build up no more.
From a superstar to a bridge player?
Bro, the problem with Kyler is he hasn't been a superstar for a while now, and his superstar ability was his athleticism. And the more you get hurt and you're that athletic, the less athletic you become.
I mean, he still has burners, but I think, man, I don't know, man. He might want to try his way into baseball while he can.
Well, I guess we'll see. Where are you with Lamar? Lamar staying in Baltimore?
I can't picture Lamar outside of a Baltimore jersey. I just can't. And if he was to go somewhere, I'd love to see him in Miami. I'd love to see him in Miami. That's his home. That's where, it's hard.
If he was to leave,
he is Baltimore, man. Yeah, he is Baltimore. Miami. Like, I can't see him. It's like a Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. Like, I can't see them in different jerseys besides the Baltimore Raven jersey. Man, it's unfortunate. Lamar has had some bad breaks. Even despite, maybe this was a down year for him, but the guy was just beat up all year. So, and he still had an opportunity to win the North and go in. So it's kind of a washed year for him. I just hope he just gets healthy and just, reset. Maybe John Harbaugh brings in another offensive mind, or, the defense gets younger. I can't see John Harbaugh leaving there either, especially after the consistency of success they've had year after year, almost 20 years. And so it's just a little weird. Go ahead.
I got 2 cents on the Harbaugh piece right there, because at what point do you realize the retooling every year isn't enough and Lamar's you're missing that window? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I can see him leaving. I know everything starts over at that point, and it wouldn't be a smart move, but I don't know. It wouldn't shock me.
Well,
it wouldn't shock me.
You go to from a good ownership to a terrible ownership if you go to Miami, right?
Yeah,
their organization is night and day, man.
Lamar's not leaving.
I think you stick with the guy, but you've got to. It's not just the coach, man. It's these players. John can't kick the fucking field goal.
Lamar's not going to leave,
bro.
Right. Lamar is not going to leave Baltimore, and I think at this point in Lamar's career, it would be asinine to change out John Harbaugh. I know coaches sometimes stay for a long time in one place. It gets a little stagnant. They get a rebirth somewhere else, right? I don't think that's what Jim Harbaugh is about. I think he's about stability, and I think that the two of them have had a good thing going for a long time. And I do think the team has gotten old, especially on defense, and you could see some of that this year. I do think they bring in some fresh bodies, get Lamar healthy in the offseason. Yeah. This will be the first time he's had a break in a while without being in the playoffs. So I think everything's fine there. I think one bad year can make everybody overreact, but I don't think there's anything wrong with John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
I think they're connected at the hip through their entire career. I would love to see it, because John was the first person that truly believed in Lamar and told him, like, you're going to be the best.
Exactly.
Like, all the kids are going to wear your jersey. Like, what head coach just does that to his rookie after sometimes he's scrutinized? Oh, you took him here. You weren't supposed to be here. You're supposed to be a receiver. Like, he truly believed in that kid, man. And that's why I was like, you guys got to be attached at the hip, man.
And he's been nothing but positive
entire
about
career.
Lamar in the media.
Yeah, players just got to
career.
make plays, man. Enough the coach. Players got to
Yep.
make plays. Period.
Yep.
Hey, we were on the
Brandon,
subject, man. I know we're gonna.
go ahead.
I know
Lo.
we're trying to keep it moving, but on the subject, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray could reunite somewhere.
See,
Kingsbury's
I'm
be
not
in
mad
hunt
at
for a
that,
job.
but I don't want to see Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach. Like, he can be the OC in Vegas. We've seen Cliff be a head coach. I don't need to see that again. I'm out on, and I think he's out on that experience because he aged about 20 years in his 3 or 4 year stint with Arizona. He got gray. He got a double chin. He's probably like, no, I don't want that life. He looks a lot better to me. He looks a lot healthier as an offensive coordinator. So I don't know that he would care to be a head coach. You know what I mean? Like you said, Lo, everybody's not meant for that, right?
Right.
Everybody's not a Mike Tomlin. You know, maybe you guys can tell me, but I look at Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season in Pittsburgh, but I don't know if I've ever seen him say a single word into that headset during a game. So what exactly does Mike Tomlin do? Is he just the greatest the greatest like team manager of all time? He looks like a baseball manager to me during games, or like a cheerleader. He cheers a lot. He runs up and down the sidelines. He kisses at the camera a lot, right? I saw him kiss and bow and up. When are you going to talk in the headset, bro? Do something during a game. One time in 20 years.
What makes Tomlin good is he allows his coaches to coach.
Yeah.
He's not.
The work's been done. Yeah, he's already done his work.
He's a general. Like he's gonna have his sergeants and lieutenants handle business. If they don't, they're gonna have a private meeting. That's why I think he's been the Steelers head coach for so long. He doesn't make it about him.
Do you think that he's on the whiteboard with these guys? Is he doing X's and O's, or is he in the back room chilling, drinking a sun-kissed, and making sure everyone's paying attention in class?
I mean,
there's something to be said though when you're the one.
Man.
Yeah, when you're whiteboarding with coaches, there's something to be said with that. I don't whiteboard with players. Nah, I'm to a level where I tell my coaches, I tell my generals what to go do.
He delegates everything.
He's everything. And that's how an organization should be ran, kind of.
Me, that's how a head coach should be anyway.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Mac Brown. Give me Mac Brown.
Should be like that. Like, hey,
I get
delegate it to your guys.
I also want to have. I've never had confidence, and this is going to sound ridiculous to say. Of course, if you're a head coach in the NFL, you have to have football acumen. You have to be you have to know X's and O's. But we see the Andy Reids of the world, right? We see the Shanahans of the world, Ben Johnsons, who are in that play sheet, and they're, and all I see is Mike Tomlin with his hands in his pockets or cheering, tripping players in big games. We saw that one time, running up and down the sideline, and never, I mean, the headset's always there. He just never says anything into it. And if he does want to talk, he lifts that thing up. He's got nothing to give during the game. I don't know, that kind of, it's always rubbed me funny. Always. I know he's, he's a great manager.
20 years later, he's still going and he's in the playoffs.
I know it. Every year somehow he makes it to the playoffs.
To his leadership, like his ability to delegate. Like, wouldn't you be annoyed if a head coach just took literally everything and you're the OC putting this all together and they just still take that shine, be like, hey, dude, I just sat here for hours. Like, no, I'm going to let Art handle the business. I'm going to let my DC take care of it. You guys win. Hey, I'm just the guy that's, gets to talk about it, but we've talked about this in meetings, and you guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Come on, bro. You would love him if you were an OC. You get to do everything you want.
Oh, yeah. No, I would love to work for a head coach that doesn't want to be in my cookies. I would love for that. Keep your milk out of my cereal,
he's probably in your
my
cookies,
cereal bowl. Stay your ass over there and leave me alone. That's what Biggers did.
Understanding.
Biggers let me put my own milk in my cereal. He never got in the way unless we were scoring too fast. And he'd be like, bro, you need to give my defense a break. And I'd be like, talk to the quarterback. I can't help you just threw a 90-yard pass to Prentice. That's not my fault. It was a slant. What do you want from me? So anyway, I digress. That was a fun year in 2016.
Well, hopefully you understand Tomlin better now.
I get you. We got 15 minutes left with Brandon. So before we get too much farther along, a couple of weeks ago, the Bears played the 49ers. Brandon and I had a bet. We have a clip. If we can, Mr. Producer, I'm going to say
let's run that. Let's run that. Pause that and run that. For sure.
I'm singing the song on the show.
They might.
I'm singing the song on the show.
I wouldn't be surprised, but if you can't, I'm telling you, Tim, if this kid is locked in,
it's going to be hell on wheels to stop.
Actually, let's go further. I want to bet on this game.
Boy, that was a hell
and
of
I
a
want to
prediction,
say
wasn't
that
it,
if the
Lo?
Bears win this game, you, Brandon Newey, have to sing the Bears fight song on this program.
Do him one better, bro. Make him. If the Bears go and the Niners whoop them, Tim, you need to come on here with your nails painted like Caleb Williams.
Oh, I need some red.
Now we
nail
got a
paint.
little, that's doable. Except I will tell y'all, my wife's going to be out of town, so who's going to paint my nails? I mean,
You'll have to get the effort. Caleb does his own.
So here we are. You're finally back on the show, and I have painted my nails for you. Now, this doesn't feel right. I don't know why Caleb does this.
Did you
weird.
feel free alive?
It doesn't even look like my hand. Like I don't know. This could be good for later. I'm not sure because you know. But anyway, this is a family show, so we're gonna move on. But this is for you, Brandon.
Woo!
Shout
out to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, shout out Caleb
man.
Williams. This jersey, though, is a vintage John Elway jersey because I just got done watching the documentary. Lo, you've seen it. So we're not going to spoil it because, Brandon, you haven't seen it. But QB Huddlers, go watch the Netflix documentary about John Elway. It was awesome. It was amazing. Takes you all the way back to the 80s and the drive and takes you through his career and his thought process into his afterlife of football. It was awesome. Brandon, I'm going to give you a choice now. We have a couple segments left. You only have a few minutes. So you can participate in grading this year's rookie class. You can go through the playoff picture and take us through who's going to win these games and get to the Super Bowl, or you can give your year-end awards. I'm going to leave it up to you, sir. Which segment?
Let's talk about the playoffs now. Let's talk about the playoffs.
I like it. Let's do it. We're going to let you go first, brother.
One team in the playoffs. Let's go. Let's start to the AFC. So we're just doing predictions. Like this is what
just take
we
me
are
through.
predicting, like all the way through.
All the way through. Take me through.
Ooh. Well, first off, we'll start with the Steelers and Texans. I really love this matchup for Rodgers. Home playoff game in Pittsburgh. It's going to be crazy, right? I feel like the Steelers winning that game and how they did it over the course of 4 minutes shows that they can be explosive. And I think they walk away with the victory in this one. I think with Jacksonville and Bills, brother, I love Josh Allen, but I think they are on a heater. And they lead the league. They're one of the top teams and leading the league in takeaways and sacks. I think they're going to pull the unthinkable and send Josh Allen home. That's over with. Now,
he ain't got no home. Highmark's gone. Highmark's gone.
It's over with. It's over with. You're one and done. Now, the Patriots come in, okay? First home playoff game in a long time, right? They're itching for a win. The Chargers are beat up and just survived on duct tape. Now, the duct tape comes off. Patriots run through them, right? Now, let's go to the NFC. The NFC, I have the Rams over the Panthers. I think Stafford had a poo-poo game. He's definitely going to redeem himself. I personally have this is going to be a tough one.
We know who you have.
The fandom in me wants the Niners to go. However, it is a coast-to-coast trip. The Eagles have rested their players on Week 18. That's some extra rest. We did not look good in the run game, nor did we look good from a line perspective. And we all know the Eagles have a great defensive line. My heart says the Niners, but logically, I think the Eagles will pull this off. But you know what? It's a fandom show, so I'm going to say the Niners get the upset.
There we go. There we go.
Niners going, man. Niners going back to Seattle. Now,
all
right.
The Bears and Packers. I got the Bears in this one, man. I just think they're gonna ride on emotion. It's a big game. Jordan Love has been wishy-washy, kind of in and out. Yes, it's Bears versus Packers. I think it's going to come down to the wire once again, and I think that the Bears win and walk away with that field goal that they missed back in the old, like, what was it, with Pubisky? They were doing real well.
His name was
by a field goal. I think they win by a field goal. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
are you going to take us in the next round? Take us into
Do
the
I
next
have
round.
to take you to the next round, or do you just want to keep it cool?
I
Take
mean,
me through it.
I have every round predicted, but you don't have
Okay.
to do that if you don't want to.
So, with that being said, it looks like the Rams going to go? Nope. The 49ers are going to meet the Seahawks. Can't wait. We're whooping you. Next, now we go to the NFC Championship. We're going to beat them. They're one and done. The Rams are going to play Philly. Let's see. The Rams are going to play Philly. How are they going to do that?
Nope. The Rams will play the Bears next.
Rams
will play the Bears in Chicago?
In Chicago.
I'm sorry, brother. Stafford's going to take you out to the
cut
back.
me right now? You're going to cut me?
Stafford's going to take you out to the back, man. Put that
Okay.
big old bear down and head back to Cali to go play the Niners in the NFC Championship game.
In LA, though.
We're going. That's our next home. That's the second home for us.
Oh my! So the 49ers,
make it all the way and go back. Now we're going to the AFC. I have right now, if I look at it, the Jaguars. So we're going to have the Jaguars take on the Steelers. I think the Jags win. I think the Jags go to the AFC title game. And now you have the Patriots. No, I got that mixed up, fellas. I got that mixed up.
The Jaguars would play the Pats.
The Jaguars play the Pats.
Jaguars win. The Chargers, Bills, Texans lose. That means the Steelers would go to the Broncos and the Jaguars.
You're right. So I'm looking at it right now. I think the Patriots will walk away with that. That's just home field advantage. It's going to be cold, I imagine. And we all know that South Florida team does not do well in cold weather games. And now you have the Steelers going to the Broncos. Man, I want A-Rod to pull this off. I want him to pull this off.
That's a tough ask.
I don't think that's going to happen, and I think it goes through Denver. The Patriots versus Denver Broncos. I got the Patriots and Niners in Super Bowl, man.
Ooh, what a show.
I'm not showing up to that.
And I'm not even saying from a fandom perspective. I'm not even saying that.
No,
that happens. I'm not coming to the pregame
It could happen.
Show. If that happens, you got to replace me in the pregame show. I won't be there. That's all right. I don't want to be a part of that.
Well, we all know what you have.
I don't want to be a part of that.
So that's my prediction.
You want to go low or you want me to go?
I could go because mine's pretty similar in some areas, so I'll run through it pretty quickly. Plus, he already got half the bracket correct, so I'm going to leave that side almost alone. The AFC was pretty – I had the same. I don't see Josh Allen doing it. I thought it would be a shocker, but I don't see him going in there and doing it. It is Josh Allen, so it's one of those all my hearts with. Yeah, as a quarterback fan, sure. As a Patriots fan, man, get him out of here so we ain't got to deal with him. Get him out. I don't want him in the AFC. Get him out. He's a wild card. He's the ace in the hole. He's the joker over there. No one wants to see him. We do handle the Chargers, not a problem, home field. But see, here's the difference. When we get to the Broncos and have to go play them, we're looking forward to being on the road. We're a road warrior team. That's why we lost. It was meant to be. That's why the Chargers decided to lose, so that way we could directly hand them their belt to behind. And then, for sitting their players, we'll handle the Broncos. And Sean Payton has no jokes to say about Vrabel, I bet. Say something about a small market, right? Can't, right? So then you go to the Super Bowl. Now, the NFC, I'm a little different. The 49ers dropped that game to the Eagles. Sorry, no fandom here. I think they dropped it because of home field. The Rams do beat the Panthers. They handle business. And then the Packers, they lose to the Bears. The first round goes as I think it would go, like as I think the world expects it to. But here's where a difference, man. I think Seattle definitely rolls over the Rams because they do the same thing and hold them. I believe they would play in the Rams. They hold the Rams offense down the same way they just suppressed the 49ers. It's not a high-scoring game. Stafford wants gunslinging action back and forth. He's not going to get that. Seattle and Sam Darnold, they'll keep him comfortable of what they've done, and they run the ball very, very well. The Bears, they're going to play the Eagles. This is one of those games I don't know who is going to win, so I'm going to go with the fan favorite here in Tim. The Bears handle the Eagles because Jalen can't keep up. They drop early. They go down early. And the Bears are ahead, and the Eagles don't play well. It's the only way you beat them. You got to beat them early to make them have to
get ahead real quick.
Yeah,
get out that game. So then you have a Seattle and Bears NFC Championship game. And I hate to say it, the Bears win. And we have that rematch that we've been talking about all on this show with the Patriots versus the Bears.
Oh,
and it comes true. We've talked about it. We've manifested it. And this is the road that I see happening. But let me tell you, Caleb and them painted nails, you don't want nothing to do. You don't want these problems. You don't want these problems, okay?
I feel like they can
Rabel's
score
ready.
with y'all, though, if they match up.
They can, but our defense is not. We're not big on stats. We're not big on stats over here in New England. But if you check them, this defense is quietly one of the top in the league, and we are hands down the most physical defense out there. We have more unsportsmanlike penalties out there, late hits. Bro, Caleb will not want to run around like that. We get the Super Bowl we want, Tim. Patriots and the Bears.
I will be here for that show. I will be here for that
only
show.
Only because the 49ers knew who you said it all year. They're just banged up, man, and I feel so bad for them, man, because they've been playing football into February every year.
Find a way.
They're just banged up. Just
bang, beat up gang. Bang, bang, beat up gang. That's what they're singing in San Francisco.
Bang, bang, recovery gang.
Oh my goodness. I'll run this through quick, Brandon. I know you got to leave in 3 minutes. I don't want you to miss my pick. So here we go. In the AFC. No, you don't. You actually don't. The Patriots beat the Chargers. The Bills handle business against the Jaguars because Josh Allen, I'm telling you something right now. Josh Allen is not letting this thing go. Josh Allen is on a mission, and he's a dangerous, dangerous man. He might be the best quarterback. He might be the best pure quarterback in these playoffs. Josh Allen is going to get it done over the Jaguars. The Steelers will beat the Texans. I agree with both of you. We go to the divisional round. The Bills have to go to Denver, and they handle business once again. Buffalo Bills beat the Broncos. The Steelers drop to the Patriots, and the game's not close. It's an ugly final game for Aaron Rodgers and company. The championship round, the Patriots host the Buffalo Bills. And just like a couple of weeks ago, Josh Allen gets it done because his window's closing. Drake May's window is just now opening. So it's not quite ready for the Patriots. The Buffalo Bills have an epic run from the 6th seed to the Super Bowl for the AFC. Now in the NFC, things get a little bit trickier. The Bears do beat the Packers. Make no bones about it. The 49ers, because of Brock Purdy, is the better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. They win that game in Philly. Philly fans aren't going to like it. There's going to be a lot of this going back and forth between quarterback and receiver on the sideline. It's going to get ugly for Philly. They're going to totally implode in that game, and San Francisco is going to win it. The Seahawks, Then we go Rams-Panthers. We know Rams are going to win that game. Divisional round, the Seahawks host the San Francisco 49ers and take them out once again. Crazy. San Francisco just doesn't have enough to go with Seattle right now. The Rams come into Chicago, and Matthew Stafford gets it done because he knows the Bears. He played in that division for years. He's having a fantastic season, doesn't care about the cold. I hate to say it, but the Rams are going to come in and beat us.
Damn.
Then the Rams have to go to Seattle, but the Rams, well, they're Warriors. Warriors. They've already won 2 road games. They don't care. They're gonna go beat Seattle in Seattle. And we're gonna have the Bills and the Rams in the Super Bowl. I was gonna say Seahawks, but I see Matthew Stafford getting it done. Bills over Rams in the Super Bowl, 31-28.
Now,
and it's a high-scoring shootout game between the 2 best quarterbacks currently in the NFL in these playoffs. That's good.
Now, I want you to take a look at these colors.
What colors? I see the colors. I see the purple, but the Ravens aren't here.
Nah, I mean, that looks a little shade. I mean,
I see some yellow, some gold. I see some blue.
I see blue and yellow for sure.
I see Charger colors more than anything.
I can't see that.
I can't see the Chargers making it.
I can't see that. And to be honest, I can't see our Niners doing. That's just the fanboy in me. We're going to go all the way. It's insane. But honestly, I mean, it's going to come down to Seattle and the Rams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love my Bears.
It's one of those 3 teams out of the NFC East.
Based on what I've seen defensively from Chicago over the last 2 weeks, they can't match up with the Rams if that's who they have to play next. Their the Bears. Their defense just can't match up with what Matthew Stafford is going to bring to the table, in my opinion.
They protect him. Stafford's healthy. He's going to torch the entire playoffs.
Could
we all know there's going to be manned up and blitzes coming Stafford's way. He can't move. He doesn't run. So you heat him up and man up.
But he defeats the blitz so well. It's hard.
He also has a lot of possessions and lots of throws, right? He gets a lot of possessions because the defense, they play a fast-paced game. Seattle is not going to do that. Seattle's going to slow it down. They're going to limit how many opportunities you actually get. And we all know Stafford has a little bit of that Baker gene when he was younger. He likes to play hero ball with the best of them, especially when you have guys like the weapons he's got.
I think Seattle has a huge advantage because every team they play outside of the Rams or Niners is a coast to coast, and you have to go in that rainy climate. It's going to be cold. I mean, it's brutal up there, right? And you're going to have to take that. Now, if they crap the bed and Chicago starts to rain, everything goes to that damn horrible ass weather place. Like that's going to.
It makes sense that the California teams definitely want to win home field.
Yeah, because going coast to coast. I mean, even going in Philly, I'm not minding the cold weather in Philly. I feel we play Philly pretty well over the past seasons, but I do feel if we can't score, it's over. Because they're going to score. They're going to get theirs.
I'll say this much for Chicago. If they win the first game, which they will, I'm very confident in that, and Seattle loses that second game, Seattle loses their first playoff game, and the divisional championship, and the Bears were to win their divisional game, and it goes through Chicago, I pity any team that has to come to Soldier Field in late January. That's not a good situation for anybody outside of Chicago.
They have an ice bowl.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible. I can tell you that from firsthand experience. Brandon, do you want to give us your year-end awards before you have to leave? Do you have to leave right now?
My QB on Fire yearly award goes to Matty Stafford. The dude has been just dealing all year. I think he's had the most on fire awards this year, and he's been very consistent outside of a stinker. And the painted nails, dude. Can't believe you did it.
I'm a man of my word. I lost the bet.
But yeah, I mean, it goes to Stafford, and my garbage juice award goes to Sir Geno Smith. It just didn't look good all year. It was multiple pick games after multiple pick games. Didn't really seem like you cared, like you had that fire like you once had in Seattle. You still throw one of the best footballs out there, still. But I just think right now it was a great story with Geno resurrecting his career, but it has come to a halt, and you got your coach fired.
You cost Pete his job.
You cost old Petey his job and his pension. Okay. Lo.
And his pension. I think he's locked in for life, dude.
Lo, go ahead and give your thoughts on this. Your awards for the end of the year.
My awards, obviously, I'm going with the other one that Matt Stafford's not there. I knew someone would pick him. So you got to go Drake May. It was a breakout year, cemented him as a true franchise quarterback. He put up elite numbers, right? Over 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, high efficiency. And he led the Patriots to one of their best records in years, man. He brought us out of the mud, if you put it that way. By season's end, he's not just promising. He's firmly in the MVP conversation, whether he wins or not. He's clear face of New England's future and possibly some of the quarterback, right, future for the NFL. Drake May's got to be on there. He's consistent all year long. Multi-touchdown games, higher pass rating. Got to put him up there, man. He's on fire.
Go Drake May.
So we're going to say goodbye. We'll see you Sunday, hopefully. Okay. Go ahead, Lauren.
So, yeah, it sucks that I had to mention him, man, because he's it is from a bias, but that's the beauty of it this year. It's accurate. His stats are there. The numbers back it up, and we're playing good football. It's not a surprise, but it is a surprise to a lot of people. But I've been saying this, man. We got clips. We're learning how to go back into the archives. So, yeah. We'll get some clips of me talking about May way before it happened.
That can't be hard to find.
Who's your garbage juice
player of the year?
We talked in nauseum, right? I threw like 4 of them in the Bruce chat, if you will. Tua, man, Tua turned the ball over. I don't know how you still have a job and you're a coach. They went higher than y'all and got rid of the GM. So we'll see. Tua, you got to be in there, though. You posted terribly low numbers, and I wanted to defend your guy. But when I checked the stats, he's very close to that. But Tua inflates his numbers, and they're still horrible, right? He throws 2-yard passes, and everything's inflated. There was talks of him getting another opportunity and a fresh start somewhere, and his response was, "That would be dope."
Oh my goodness, that's what he said.
So yeah, yep, and I don't think he's going anywhere else, man. He might go to a backup role, but I don't know who would put him on the books. It's a medical catastrophe. I think he's done as soon as he loses this job. But Tua, you got to go in the garbage juice for the year. Just terrible record, 6 wins, I believe. It's just doesn't look good.
Fair enough. Since we have the garbage juice banner up, I have to apologize to our producer. We had to kind of jump around topics a little bit to accommodate Brandon having to leave a little bit early. But I'll stay with the garbage juice for now, and then I'll go back to my on fire of the year. My garbage juice quarterback of the year is Justin Fields. 9 games before he was benched, he had a total of 1,259 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. They weren't winning any games. Watching him play was difficult. Listen, he couldn't get it done in Chicago, couldn't get it done in Pittsburgh, couldn't get it done in New York when they gave him the contract and gave him the number 1 job. If he doesn't take a Taysom Hill type of role somewhere else, I get the idea he's going to be out of the NFL, although he could be a good backup. Places like Philly, Baltimore, Washington, Carolina, quarterbacks that are agile and like to move out of the pocket. Maybe him and Kyler go to Las Vegas together and he backs up Kyler Murray. I'm okay with that. But to me, and I hate to say it because I was a fan of his in Chicago, or at least I tried to be, Justin Fields is my garbage juice player of the year at the quarterback position. And it's a shame. That was his last chance to be a starter, and he blew it.
No, last chance to be a quarterback. Don't give it. Don't be soft on him because he's definitely already open to changing positions. So you done played yourself out of the quarterback position. I think you're a great running back, if you will. Like, you have good moves. I don't know if you can take the beating they do. So who knows if there's a Taysom role open somewhere. The Saints might be hiring because I think Taysom is retiring. So yeah, maybe they just replace it with the Justin Fields. I don't think Colin Moore's into that, but and I don't see him going to Vegas because, let's be real, number 1 pick Mendoza's going to Vegas, right? Sneak peek at the QB Huddle draft show, but yeah, Mendoza's going to Vegas.
Probably. And we'll get into all that much later. I'm going to transition back to my QB on fire for the year. This might come as a little bit of a surprise. I was never really behind this quarterback when we drafted him. But much like what you said about Drake May, Caleb Williams has had such a progression from year 1 to year 2. I see a I believe that he is our franchise guy. I believe he's going to be here. I've ordered the Caleb Williams jersey because I believe he's going to get the next contract, which would be the first quarterback to get the next contract in quite some time. He just broke Eric Kramer's all-time record for passing yards in Chicago. Almost got the 4K. Isn't that crazy that the Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer, even with Jay Cutler? But Eric Kramer, who you may not even ever heard of, he was number 12 for my Chicago Bears. As a lifelong fan, it's nice to see the Bears actually have a quarterback. We haven't had one since Jim McMahon. I mean, Jay Cutler was close, but his attitude was shit, and it cost us in some of the bigger games. So almost getting to that elusive 4K. I think it was 39-42. He got total yards back into the playoffs, number 2 seed, 1 win away from the number 1 seed. He's exciting to watch. He's clutch when he needs to be. He's got that clutch gene in him. He might have been Brady moment player of the year, but I gave him quarterback on fire of the year to me. Lots of work to do in Chicago, but I think they're on the right track. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I agree. They're both year 2 guys. Caleb's progressed. Even some people would say, oh, he took a step back statistically in certain areas. Yeah, that's progression. You take a step back to learn, to see, and he sprung forward. So this is year 2 we're talking about. We love to let the narrative, let the stats write the narrative, but when it supports it, we don't talk about it enough. So everyone talks about that year 2 for QBs and how bad it is, and CJ Stroud, and it's common, right? It does happen. Not with the 2 guys we named. Drake May, Caleb Williams, great year 2s.
By the way, I just want to point something out. Patriots in the playoff, quarterback was number 1 pick. Chargers in the playoff, quarterback was number 1 pick. Jags in the playoffs, quarterback was number 1 pick. Texans in the playoffs, quarterback was a number 1 pick. Broncos in the playoffs, quarterback was a number 1 pick. Bears in the playoffs, quarterback was the number 1 pick. Not the 49ers. Eagles in the playoffs, quarterback was the number 1 pick. Panthers in the playoffs, quarterback was the number 1 pick. Seahawks in the playoffs, quarterback was the number 1 pick. This is telling to me that these number
at one point in time.
You're right. It was a long time ago, but he was still number 1 pick. This is incredible. All these I think there's 7 or 8 of them, number 1 picks in the playoffs this year. That's a lot, man. That tells me that the future of the NFL might be in better hands than we had thought a couple of years
Well,
ago.
you're talking about an AFC. You're talking about an AFC that is Burrow, Mahomes, and Lamar list right now. None of these guys are in the playoffs either. So
crazy.
Yeah, I think the future is pretty crazy.
The future is bright. Okay. So our last segment of the day. It was segment 2, but we are going to grade this year's NFL QB draft class.
Yes, the future. Speaking of the future,
the future. We're not here to put this class against the 83 class or anything like that just yet. It's too soon to do that, but we want to grade these guys, right? So we'll go down the list. Cam Ward. I'll let you go first on all of these. Cam Ward.
What are we grading them? A's, B's, C's, D's?
Okay.
How are we doing this?
Yeah, I'll start with the first one, and then you could play along. Cam Ward, I give him a D. Poor stats. Threw his teammates under the bus in one of his first ever post-game press conferences. Then he got hurt later in the season. I know he's in a bad situation in Tennessee. I still give him a D because he didn't do anything to raise up the elevation of that football team, and he was supposed to be that guy. He told us he was going to be that guy. He wasn't that guy. I give him a D.
I'm going to give him a C. I'm going to give him a C plus. C plus.
Okay.
Here's why. Because everything you said, situation matters. And I do think that he's a quarterback that has the ability to learn from all his mistakes. He did make a lot of them, some on the field, some off the field. I'm going to give him a C, no plus or minus. Just he gets a C from me because of situation. Okay. And your coach did get fired. So they identified some of the problem. Definitely wasn't you. So
fair enough. And like I say, the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns might be mirror organizations, if we're being honest. Shedeur Sanders. This is gonna be fun. What's your grade on old Shedeur Sanders?
I'll go first, and I'm gonna be nice only because the way he ended. Okay. Look, here we go.
I mean, don't pity Patty.
I'm not. I'm gonna give him a B,
real grade.
And people are gonna hate it. I'm gonna give him a B, and the reason I'm gonna give him a B is because situation is terrible. There's another guy in here I'm gonna try to give a little bit of help to, but he gets a. I gotta go B minus. Yeah, B minus. But he's not quite a C because he showed promise, and he's a 5th round pick and showed that he belonged in what you said, a terrible situation. He started out great, but when he did open up and get a little bit comfortable, the turnovers started coming. He started pushing the ball downfield a little bit more. But let's not forget, he probably posted the best single game, than all of these rookies in here, throwing 4 touchdowns, almost 400 yards. Yeah, I give him a B minus. B minus.
Okay. I give him a
Let's
C.
hear it.
I give him a C minus.
Okay.
This is why. He waited. He did the right thing. He waited to play. He got in. The Browns are a mess. We know this. But here's where the C minus comes in. Way too many sacks in big situations. And way too many interceptions with 10. He'll be fine. He'll be a franchise quarterback in Cleveland or elsewhere. He's an NFL caliber player. I don't buy into the fact that he's not. And this will make sense when you see how I graded the other class, the rest of the guys. But I give him a C minus just because of the sacks and the interceptions, right? That he's got to get that cleaned up. Outside of that, he was pretty decent. Outside of that, he was pretty good. And he actually won the game this past weekend for his team. Or put them in position. So I give him a C minus. Jackson Dart. Where are you at with Jackson?
Jackson Dart. Dude, this was so much easier when I was like, oh yeah, B, oh C, oh D, oh A. Yeah. No, I want to put some thought into these rookies. And again, it's all slated based on the scale they're on. Dart for me, surprisingly, he gets a solid B. B plus. He had to get in the game. He did have to outperform, whether it's behind the scenes, firing coaches, yada, yada, yada. Russell Wilson and Jameis. Two very quality quarterbacks at one point in their careers, and some should say still now because Jameis was balling. But Jack Start's the guy. I think the city's behind him. I think they now draft another weapon to help Malik Neighbors. I think they got a great young defense. And I think Jackson Dart being the guy there, even without Scatterboo, that was fun while it lasted. But he's a physical player, and he already got hurt. Jackson Dart, if he can learn to just slide, it's a mental thing. It ain't the physical thing. Remember, because some people had to be taught how to slide, Tua. But yes, Dart just needs to use the ability that he has and slide sometimes. And I think he has a bright future in this league. And I think the Giants found their guy. So yeah, he gets a solid B from me.
I gave Jackson a C. I judged much more harshly than you did. I would have given him an A, actually. And the reason I would have given him an A is because he was accurate when he threw the ball. He injected so much energy into that team. He made everybody around him better, including Scatterboo. But I can't do that because he didn't learn how to protect himself. He had like 8 concussions in his first season.
Yeah.
Right. Every game he was going to the blue tent. I will say this. I saw growth in him versus the Dallas Cowboys. He's just coming back again off injury. I saw him actually slide. I saw him actually step out of bounce instead of try to run somebody over. Baker may want to take some notes, right? Because he's gotten himself into those situations. So I give him a solid C, only because if you don't protect yourself, young man, you won't have a long career. And so that was my issue with him. And that's a huge issue, is protecting yourself. Your best ability is availability. You're QB1 and you're in the tent. We got to stop that. Jalen Milroe did not play, so I don't think we can grade him. Don't know if he'll ever get to play, but I don't think we can grade him. Quinn Ewers did not play until week 16. He was 1-2 in that time with 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. How do you grade old Quinn Ewers in Miami?
Quinn Ewers, I think he solidified himself as the backup next year, or at least competition for whoever is coming into Miami. But make no mistake about it, if it is Tua, then Ewers has an attempt to be a starter. Like let's keep it real. He looks good. His feet fit the offense. If McDaniel's still in, there's a good shot that Ewers is the starter. So in his few games that he played, for me, he gets a B as well. And there's little slated if you're talking about grades, and that's because they're all bad. So there's a curve here. There's definitely like a curve for these quarterbacks because none of them are really outstanding.
None of them.
But none of them really outstanding. There's one that looked good. He looked good, and he almost blew the curve, almost. But I'll tell you why he didn't in a second.
You see, and here I am being the asshole teacher with no curve. I'm just like everyone's getting graded against Tom Brady. In my opinion,
there's 2 types of professors in this world. Okay,
that's right.
Ewers gets a B from me. And if you notice, the guys that I've given Bs, they've shown that other teams can invest something into these guys and possibly get something in return. And Ewers is one of those guys. Ewers is one of those guys. So yeah,
I gave Ewers a solid C. He didn't do anything that jumped off the tape to me. He didn't do anything that jumped off negatively either. He didn't get a lot of playing time. He had no reps with the first team until week 15. So I'm going to give him a solid C for what he did. And again, I'm not grading on the curve that you are.
The tough part is he didn't show anything in your opinion when you're watching that. But do me a favor and change your lens real quick. And he did exactly what
anything that jumped out. That's like superstar.
Right, but he did just more than or the same or equal, if not equal to, the amount that Miami paid their $55 million.
Make no mistake. He's as good or better than Tua. He's as good or better than Tua. No question.
Crazy.
Dylan Gabriel.
Ouch.
How are you going to agree? He only played 5 games before his injury.
I know. Tough situation to be in, and during those 5 games, he showed some things, one of which I thought was injury. Like I worried because he's not very big, and he doesn't really protect himself. He wants to run around like it's college still, but more importantly, he's not some genius. I don't know what this QB genius reading thing was, pre-snap genius that he was coming out of college. I think he might have a future somewhere, and I think he will get another chance, but he's a backup, man. He's going to go into the situation either there or somewhere else as a backup. I think you overpaid. for the 3rd rounder. I give him a C.
Okay. This is funny. I gave him a C+. And this is why. As much as we talk about Shedeur, and I gave Shedeur a C-,
Yeah.
His numbers were all better than Shador's. All of them were better. And we'll break this down. 5 games before the injury, he had 7 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. He took care of the football. Yes, he didn't push the ball downfield a lot.
He doesn't, no risks.
But you know what? A lot of these guys that push the ball downfield are just throwing that thing downfield. I mean, Shador had 10 interceptions. That's too many. So I'll say that I give him that solid C. Again, 937 yards, 59% completion percentage. We understand he was checking the ball down a lot. Again, he's a very he's a protector of the football. Does that win in today's NFL? Maybe not. Not unless you have a dominant defense and some playmakers around you. Cleveland had the dominant defense, but no playmakers. I think Dylan could start in this league, but I think he would need to be on a really good team. To me, it would be almost like and I hate to compare him to Jalen Hurts because they're different players, but I think he would need that stacked team around him to have success, but I think he could if he had that. If he ever gets around that.
Only curveball I got for Dylan Gabriel that makes an uphill battle and adds icing to that cake is he's left-handed. So unless he's coming in as like a starter, that matters. I know people say, "Oh, that doesn't really matter in the NFL." Oh, it matters. Ask the Atlanta Falcons receivers.
We've only seen 2 left-handers really have success in this league. It's Michael Vick and Mark Brunell. Oh, 3, because wasn't Steve Young a lefty too? So
Steve Young was a lefty.
We've seen 3 lefties have any sort of success in this league. Sorry, Binui, who's also a lefty. But
it's tough.
He was a great lefty. Will Howard didn't play in Pittsburgh, so didn't get to see him. Here's the guy. To me, this is the rookie of the year. This is the best quarterback in this class so far. It's Tyler Show.
Oh, I don't know about rookie of the year.
Go ahead.
But if you talk about quarterback rookie, yes. I don't know about rookie of the year. McMillan out in Carolina, I think he changed that offense. So I think he's in the running for rookie of the year. But Show has shown that he's their quarterback. I think they hit one. They won't be drafting one. That's for sure. They won't be drafting a quarterback. They sent off Shaheed because they knew they had a guy, which was shocking to me. I'm like, man, that's your burner. We don't need a burner. We got a guy that can dissect a defense, read the field, and he isn't afraid to take off. He ain't the most athletic guy, but he knows when to move the pocket. He had the viral video of the terrible combine, if I remember correctly. This is a guy that threw the ball at the dirt. So he showed that he belonged, but let's not discredit Kellen Moore. He has a great offensive mind behind him, makes it very easy for a guy that was not as athletic as everybody else, not as fast. Kellen Moore can relate, and he did a great work. So Tyler Show to me is the one that almost blew the curve. He gets an A. He gets an A from me.
Okay. He got my highest grade as well. I gave him a B. In my opinion, again, at least in this short window that we saw, he was the best of the class this year. 67% completion.
Yeah, the Saints alone win 4 or 5 more games if he starts all year.
Exactly. And the Saints are not a good football team, right? 67% completion, by far the highest completion percentage of any of the rookies. 10 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Clean that up a little bit. But he also ran for 3 touchdowns, so he's more athletic than we give him credit for. By the way, he also had 2 300-yard games in which they won. So they weren't garbage stats trying to catch up in the fourth quarter. They won those games. He threw for over 2,000 yards on a bad team with just, 6 starts? I think the ceiling is way up there for Tyler. I was shocked because I didn't see that. At least he worked out the combine, but I didn't see coming out of there. I didn't get the feeling that he was going to be a guy. And wow, he's a guy. He's a guy.
He's a guy. He's a guy. Great. He's good. There's always one or two. There's always one or two, man, that just shock us.
Kellen Moore had us all thinking Dak Prescott was a guy too. So we might.
I'm surprised Dak wasn't on fire. He had a good year, but it's expected with 2 of the top leading receiver leaders and the number 2 leading rusher. So.
He had big stats and big numbers in games that didn't matter, so I can't count that.
Yeah,
I just can't. Yeah. Caleb has had big games when it matters most. He plays great when his team needs him the most. If Dak could just do some of that, the Cowboys might be a playoff team. Ooh, that's going to make people mad. That's going to upset That's going to upset the apple cart. That's okay. I don't care. Lo, we had a Brady moment this week. Do you want to break it down? Do you want to break it down, or should I do it?
I mean, you can break it down, because mine's going to be summed up. I know what happened, but lead us to it. Lead us to it, and then I'll take the reins.
Here we are. Shador Sanders, ladies and gentlemen, has entered the chat with a little bit of clutch gene himself. You would think that was inbred in him, being the son of the great Deion Sanders. And it was a little bit. With 1:29 left in the game, the Bengals had just taken the lead. They were out there to win. Joe Flacco was running quarterback sneaks, doing the gritty on the sidelines. It was a fun game to watch. But Sanders comes in with a 10-play, 40-yard drive. Doesn't sound like a lot, but with 1:29 left, he had a couple key completions, a 13-yarder to Isaiah Bond, and then on 3rd down and 11, he hit Jerry Jeudy to get them in the field goal range. They came in, kicked the field goal, walk-off win for number 12, who was trained and worked with the great Tom Brady, has his first Brady moment completed. And I have to say, congratulations to Shador Sanders for an outstanding 1:29 seconds in the final drive of the game. Love to see that. Lauren, come back in with
it. Was great. It was great. It was great. Dude, you nailed it. And I'll just dive into those completions. Yeah, it was 10 plays. But that's what did it. All right. So that Isaiah Bond out route was 3rd, I think, 3rd down, 3rd and 11. Hit an out route, but he got out of bounds. He threw him to the sideline, got out of bounds. Looked great. The next one that we left off was a check down route, and I know that everyone's talking about it. He stepped up in the pocket. He didn't try to run away, look downfield. Nothing was there. Checked it down to Sampson on the left side. Sampson caught the ball at the line of scrimmage, gained at least almost 8 or 9 closer to the first down, put him in place to run a couple times, get another first down. And then the Jeudy was just great because it was man coverage. They were talking about it pre-snap too, but Shador saw it. He paused. He looked over, gave him some type of signal. Not sure who it was for or if it was for anybody, but he identified clearly it was man. Jeudy comes across the middle and almost freaking dropped it. 10-plus drops on the year, but not that one. He catches the route on the dig. You nailed it. The kicker wasn't going to miss that either. Emotions were high. Garrett got the sack. Browns weren't losing this game, and Shador did his part. He did his part, and he looked good doing it. All right.
Fair enough. I love that. So that was great. We love to see young quarterbacks come in and show clutch genes, and he certainly showed that. And that tells everybody, look, you won your final 2 games. There's certainly something going on with Shador in Cleveland. Let's get a coach in there that is good with young quarterbacks. That is a good quarterback developer. You've got the defense, right? Things are there. Let's build the O-line a little bit. Let's protect our young quarterback. Let's trade Dillon Gabriel, right, and get some picks or some monetary value, right? And let's give Shador the job. Let's just call it what it is, because I think he is better than Dillon. Dillon outplayed him, in my opinion, but I think we can all see the tools are there. Shador is going to be a better quarterback than Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah. That's what I think we both can agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So, folks, this is a little bit of a different week. We've been talking about how we can get back to you before the playoff games, and we may do a Sunday morning show to talk about the big games that are happening on Sunday and Monday. But look for us to do something Wednesday, Thursday night, and get it to you on Friday to break down the Saturday slate, right? The 2 games that we have on Saturday, so we can get you pumped up for the playoffs. So look for something to come in between then. And then I think we have to stay on Sundays because that's when people look for us. So certainly we will be back at 10:30 Sunday morning to break down the slate of Sunday games. And of course, talk about what happened the day before, because there's a big day of Saturday games too. We got 3 games Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. It's going to be a heck of a weekend. Lo, any final words before we get up out of here and tell the folks about Dubby?
Yeah, before we get to Dubby, because I don't want to be all,
jittery.
I'm still jittery right now. So no, I have the jitters right now. So I want to keep that energy up before I just kind of calm down and get the natural, good, clean energy. Right. But I don't know if people realize that, but the 8th, we're going to there's some college football games on too. We get about Thursday 5 days. Yeah, we get about 5 days of straight football that we're looking at because we get to talk about it on the 5th day. So yeah, other than that, enjoy the next few days. I think they're great. I don't even like college football like that, but I'll take 4 transfer portal quarterbacks making their way into the Final Four. I think it's great. It's great for business.
To be fair, everyone's a transfer portal quarterback these days. Hey, listen, guys, I've been drinking this throughout the show because I'm tired. I need some energy. This is the W energy drink. You see my nails are painted for Brandon Newey. The Bears lost to the 49ers.
That's the promo we need right there for W. Look at the nails.
I mean, I'm a man of my word, and I went above and beyond. How I'm going to get this off, I have no idea. but we're going to work on it. Anyway, get you some Dubby. We've got a barcode somewhere. Make sure you get this stuff. It's dubby.gg /discount /QB Huddle. You get 10% off. This stuff is wonderful. So make sure you get some. Otherwise, look for a show to come out later in the week, and then definitely come in and tune in with us Sunday morning at 10:30. Same bat channel as you are now, so we can break down Saturday games, maybe talk a little college football, and then bring you up to speed on what's going on Sunday and Monday. So until then, folks, you know what it is. Keep those chains moving. We'll see you.